Hey everybody, NovelistCrim here, and welcome to Writing Company and Motivation. This is an accountability stream where we get together and do some writing. This is a show that is hosted on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. So if you're new here, look forward to that. So let's just hop right into like a discussion here. So this week was pretty cool in the sense that, well, now 30. We had the birthday, which was pretty cool. Spent a lot of time with family and friends. I was able to really like kind of see more of the people who really mean a lot to me, and I think that it was a really great time. The weekend was awesome. It really was. We had a fancy dinner with my mother, where we ate some really delicious food, drank some great drinks. It was awesome. And then the night continued on into a surprise party. So I went over to like one of our local bars, and waiting there. I don't really have like a lot of friends in real life, but my mom gathered her friends, and we were kind of close, like in terms of those people seem to appreciate me as much as she appreciates me. So it was really heartwarming, to see like you don't think that there's a lot of people that really care, but you'd be surprised at like how many people are really happy, willing, and wanting to celebrate you. And I don't know, it was really touching. I think there's a lot of things that like happened through the experience of like turning 30. You notice like a lot of things, and you kind of feel that while there's still a lot more fun to be had, you feel like your childhoodness is kind of like over. You really do feel that division of like becoming more of an adult. And when I look at pictures of myself, like I was dressed in a blazer, trying to dress nice for the fancy restaurant. I really did feel, looking at myself in the photo, man, I look mature. Like I can almost, it almost makes me want to like resist the urge to like kind of like run around in shorts or the graphic tees that I used to wear and stuff, and like it makes me rethink of like man, I really do look older. Maybe I should start dressing my age, or like considering other things, like what do I value in life, who do I value in life, what I want to accomplish and do. And I think that the start of the 30s is probably something that I want to like start honoring and appreciating the people that are around me. I think that I've had a lot of time to kind of just just really take stock of those who are important to me, and I really do feel the love. And I realized that if I were to go through life quietly and try to like really hard to succeed, I feel like and I did nothing but, I feel like the success itself would be kind of empty a little bit if there isn't somebody to share it with. And it's a really weird feeling that like that happens, but it's like it's almost like I really want to start appreciating those people who are around me more. And being able to like spend that weekend together with friends, and even on Sunday we had a live session of Dungeons and Dragons, which was like freaking awesome, and it just really makes you like feel more connectivity. So I don't know, I think that's like the weird sentimental stuff that's going on through my head at the time. Anyways, no man, childhood is eternity. It's true, you can have a playful heart for sure. 25-year-old from now. So what's good, man? Let's see. So I think like that's the only thing that's like kind of like running through my head right now. That and the fact that we are not getting any of my usual music down. What? I have to go over here. There we go. Seems like some of the music that we got is like busted, so I guess we have to fix that later. Let's continue on with like some of the other stuff that we've noticed. I think like in terms of 30, 30 is an important year for me. Like not because it's like, you know, a big milestone in your life, you know, the third century that or sorry, the what's all the third God, I don't, the words escape me. Like I guess the third 10 year you lived. I don't know what the hell that is. Yeesh. I wanted to say century, but I know it's like 100. That's not correct. I know the term for a person like at 30 is like tricentennial. I was trying to go for something like that, but whatever. Anyhow, the yeah, so like, you know, 30 is like a milestone, but it also is like, to me, it's like an important it's an important milestone for like my writing career. You know, I always told myself that like, you know, when you're 30, it'll happen. You know, decade. That's it. The third decade. Thank you. So like I always told myself that, like, you know, by the time I hit 30, or at least, you know, by the end of 30, that the novel will be done. At least the first novel that I've ever, you know, fully 100%, you know, written, edited, and taken to publishing. So I kind of feel like a personal deadline is set, and I want to adhere to that as much as possible. So I'm going to be pushing hard on trying to get that that goal done. Throughout this whole week, I've been doing nothing but partying. I've been doing nothing but hanging out with people who mean a lot to me, and I've also been eating a lot. So I feel like crap, but also I feel full of the heart and also the body. So I think like, you know, now that the week is over and we can well and officially say that we've celebrated it, I think that like now would be a good time to like start setting goals for what we want to do. I definitely want to set health goals. I definitely want to do like, you know, writing goals. And thank you, Pink. It's also good to see you. How you doing? So like, I think that once we get that underway, I think we'll be good, you know? And we got a whole year, 360 days to mess with. Well, I mean, a little less than 360 days. Like what, it was like how many days ago? About 5 days ago. So we were 365, so yeah, like 360 days. So, damn, what can we accomplish? 360 days. What can we? That's a good question. Especially since, you know, you got the novel, like the chapters coming along. We're coming up at the first week of chapters 12 right now, which we're on, according to today. Chapter 12's first day start, or you know, the full week, will be considered on the 12th. So yeah, that's actually ironic. Look at that. First week of the 12th is on the 12th. Great. So I'm hoping that I can finish the chapter today. It seems like it's going to be probably coming down to be like that. Chapter's moving along pretty smooth, so no complaints there. Let's see. Other than that, I guess we're just going to keep hammering away and see what happens. But kind of keeping confidence, staying positive, and trying to move forward, I guess, toward the greater good, because I'd like more of a, you know, happier life and something to be proud of. Like, I think that like when it comes to aging, there's a lot of love, a lot of happiness that comes along, but it's also, you know, that weird undertone of like bittersweet, because you know the things like won't last, you know, the things that are like, you know, kind of temporary. Everything's temporary, but that doesn't mean you have to live in the future. You can certainly live in the present, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to lock things in here and feel better about, like, you know, being in this moment right here, right now, and enjoy the journey for what it is and the people that we have. So I got a question today for writing stuff, and it's, what genre would you want to write next? So, interesting question. I mean, if it greatly depends, because like if the book that I'm working on is done, I have like a whole wide open door of like what I could do. I could continue the story and try to make like a trilogy out of it, maybe. I know it's going to probably extend to more than just a trilogy. It'd probably extend to like a multi-book series, but at the same time, do I really want to like lock myself onto that one particular world doing that one particular thing? Not really. I mean, I really like the effort and the style of the world is really cool, but if I were to pick a new genre to go to, I'm thinking that lit RPG is probably the way I want to go. Or some kind of fantasy comedy. I really want to create a story that is just full-blown fantasy, like a high fantasy setting. So like, you know, all different races, all different things, just like a whole giant mixing pot of just fun. And, you know, make it a comedy, just like lighthearted, not taken seriously, just go for it, you know? I would really, really love a story that just, you know, makes people laugh, that is a really good time for me to write, and just like a great thrill to just to like, you know, rest with. So if I could do that, I'll probably do that. I might try doing like an epic fantasy later on. I mean, I've written a good chunk of it at one point, but it's just like, well, that's probably like for another time, another skill level. I've already hugged that story for like years, and I'm pretty good with it until I get another inspiration. So, let's see here. Aside from that, guys, I think we're pretty much ready to dive into tonight's writing session, so we can just kind of like get things moving along up until you know, until the time's to clock out, you know. Does anybody have any other questions or things they want to like talk about before we like head into full writing mode? Which is coming up soon. Question is, you know, what's the goal you do of you doing writing, like the main aim? All right, so the main goal for me, like to do writing, I love writing. I love the craft. I like being able to take ideas that are in your head and kind of like just share it with other people. Like it's the greatest way to like kind of play pretend. For me, the world is super boring, right? There's not, you have like so many things to deal with, like you know, bills, taxes. There's a lot of struggles and pain, but like with writing, all of it kind of just collects together and has a point. It all goes somewhere. It teaches you lessons. It excites the soul. It, you know, makes you feel. And having those, like, that way of kind of translating the world and seeing it, you know, make sense to you is wonderful. That's something that I love to kind of translate to other people. But at the same time, I like the idea that, like, it's therapy for me, that I'm able to, like, do, you know, in a world where you have no real control of the things that are around you, writing gives you the ability to have some control over a world, and you can, like, you know, be free to express yourself, explore different lives, you know, make friends and enemies, and just like, you know, really explore a world and experience that you want, right? So like living in that virtual reality, like you know, and creating those moments that you can capture and give to somebody else is magic. And that's something that I love about writing. That's why I write. Because like in life, you know, you like work these jobs and shit that like you're expected to just kind of sit down, do your work, don't say anything. Like, you know, nobody really cares about you. Nobody really cares about like your thoughts or ideas, or, you know, it's just such a, you know, you're expected to sit there in a cubicle and just be quiet and just, you know, be a good little worker and just work. And I feel like there's got to be more to life than that. Has to be. So having the moment where you can just create, share those things with other people, and then like you finally have a platform and an ability to speak, to say something, and not quiet, you know, not be quiet throughout the whole time. It's wonderful, right? It is like taking a part of your soul, immortalizing it, and sharing it to other people. And then, like, you know, capturing those experiences and sharing those like stories and lessons. It's just, there's just so much magic behind it that like I can't think of any other greater thing to, like, you know, than sharing stories with other people and like, you know, making other people like feel good, you know. making him feel like, you know, things are going to be all right, that like, you know, if somebody else can like suffer like in this world, then maybe I can too, you know. Or maybe like it gives, you know, some insight, some lessons, like a better understanding of what it means to be human. You know, there's a lot of people who go through life and struggle and don't understand like why certain things happen to them or why certain things like, you know, move. But, you know, like writing helps you process that thing. You learn so many great lessons from books when you read that it's like shocking. And there's like so many like life lessons that I've taken from other stories that have certainly colored my own understanding of life. And they could be as something as dumb and silly as like, you know, some of these other books. Like, for example, I was reading like a story called the Myth Inc. series, right? And it's a silly book that is based on puns. It's a comedy that is not to be taken seriously at all. However, they do have really great nuggets of information, things that like you know, really speak to the soul, and lessons that you know you wouldn't even think about. One of the characters was suffering against alcoholism. Now I wouldn't know this because I don't really drink that much, right? So like I didn't know what the struggle and what it's like, you know, to have those types of problems. But you know, I didn't really realize like what the alcohol did until like, you know, one of the writers kind of like mentioned it. It's like, you know, it's a magnifying glass. It's like meant to magnify what's already there. If you're happy, it makes you really happy. If you're sad, it makes you really sad, you know? So it just like, you know, it takes what you are already and amplifies it. It exaggerates it and makes it into a cartoon. Never thought of alcohol that way before. Brilliant way to, view that. There was another thing that was really profound in the same series. There's I can't remember the exact specifics of what was happening, but there was this character, and he was a father, but I believe that he was being hard on his children, and he was trying to force the child to like, you know, do these things and just like really like, you know, being an asshole to him. But the reason why he was doing this is because, you know, he loved the kid and he wanted to make sure that the kid was able to like you know, succeed in life, right? But the kid still went on and did his own thing and was successful. And here's the most profound statement that I got from the book. The father basically comes over to the main character and says, you know what the hardest thing about being a parent is? That you never know if your child succeeds because of you or in spite of you. Boom. Like, I never thought that like that would be a problem to face. How daunting would that be, right? To think that if you had a child, you don't know that if like what you're doing is actually helping them or fucking hurting them or just like holding them back. Like you could, you know, doing all these like things that you think is helping, but it's not, right? And to have that knowledge of like not being able to fully know whether or not you're actually helping, it's hard. So all these life lessons, all these things that you can capture in just writing in general, there's so much you can learn about humanity through the written word. And I love it. I love everything about it. That's why I write. Does that make sense? I love it. I love like when you're able to like really just capture the beauty and the ugly of like humanity and just like really just see like just, I don't know, for me it's almost like you get a glimpse of someone's soul. It's such a beautiful experience. I mean, like, you know, some moments are just hilarious and fun and adventurous, and like other moments just like really make you cry and you just like feel. It's just there's no better experience. Yeah, let's get back to work here. But anyways, we're putting a end to the stream tonight, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I really appreciate the love and support. It's always kind of fun when we do this type of stuff. Yeah, it's been quite a ride, and I'm really happy that we made it to like 300 people today, or followers. It's awesome, so cool. But that wouldn't have happened without your guys' help, and it's always fun to like make new friends and be able to kind of go through stream and, you know, enjoy the experience together. So thank you for that. Anyways. For those of you who are new here, again, my name is NovelistCrim. This was Writing Company and Motivation, an accountability stream where we host it on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. So if you haven't, I recommend you leave a follow. It's a great way to get notified when we're doing this type of stuff. And you can also check out our Discord by hitting !Discord in chat. and that'll give you a link to our journal entries, which we do at the beginning of the streams. Also, it is a place where you can get the stream archives of where we do the highlights, so you can kind of like, if there's anything that you missed on the previous stream, don't worry about it. All the good stuff we usually like to save in those little archives, so it should be fun. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for coming out. I really appreciate the love. Take it easy, and as always, stay passionate. See you again.